Well, good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure to have Mr. Jerome from the French Wrecking Crew over there in Belgium
Thank you very much.
joining me. We're looking forward, obviously, to Marathon 2020, which is in a few days' time. But Jerome has kindly come forward to have a wee chat with me. First of all, Jerome, basically, what did you think of Marathon last year?
Oh, the marathon last year was amazing. You were all amazing, and you were only 4. Yeah, you, Erikozy, Ali, and
Tracy?
Tracy. Yeah,
Well, basically a lawyer.
yeah, Tracy.
Yeah.
And you were amazing because you were there and you never stopped, and how it was really amazing. And this is why I create at the time just after the marathon, the French Wrecking Crew.
Yep.
It was an Erikozy the idea, but I've created on YouTube the channel to share people what we do. So because it was really amazing, and you, Mr. Capaldi, you have made an amazing job last year. It was amazing.
Yeah. I must confess though, I was actually part-time in that one because Ali Apperson, she covered me for 2 hours on one of the slots and 1 hour on the other slot. So I think I did a 4, a 3, and a 2. So that 4, 3, 7. I think I only did 9 hours, and Ali did. I think Tracy took 1 extra hour off me because she'd got. I think it was the author of a book about the justice system, a Michael Ciolini. She had as one of her guests, who, as I say, had written the book. And Ali, of course, had previously, Ali and I think Denise and Linda, and I'm trying to think who else had been going live. I think Tracy as well had been going live and doing live chats for 8 hours non-stop. When we used to use, was it the Hangouts? I think it was the Hangout we used them. Yeah. And what happened was that when it got to 8 hours, it cut out. So all they did was they started again. And on one occasion, I think Ali went for 16 hours non-stop.
Yeah. I remember.
It was amazing. Amazing. You know, I mean.
It was really amazing, and it was my first apparition of on YouTube, because on Ali channel, I was invited to play song for the ladies, and if I remember well, it was Linda, Ali, and I don't remember the third. It was the last year, and it was my first appearance on YouTube, and it was amazing because the ambience. Ambience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Cherie. Yes. I remember Julie was very very busy organising stuff along with Ben and Tracy. And also, as I say, there was, I'm sure it was Denise and Ali and Tracy that were going. As I say, that they were doing long live chats. I mean, I think. I think occasionally there might have been time when, like, me and the dude maybe went for near on an hour. And then Tracy said, why don't we do a 24-hour? Which was pretty daunting. But then the dude came up with this idea. Well, we'll make it 48 hours, and it's like you think, hold on a sec, 48 hours non-stop. That's ridiculous. Do you know what? Can you remember at the end of the dude's last session, we actually ran out of time?
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I remember that. Yeah.
But yes, I remember also we had I think Fen had an issue with power and had to relocate somewhere else in order to sort of operate behind a computer screen, and we had all these people acting as admins and mods and all that kind of stuff, so just so that they could put out the information and keep every so often in the chat it would come up, to make donations, blah blah blah. This is what you need to do. And it worked. It all worked really well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what did surprise me was the fact that Tracy initially set the target of let's try and raise. I think it was $1,000 or $2,000, and you're thinking,
I think,
what? How are you going to manage that much? I mean, when it turned out that it was over $5,000 that we raised, and so that meant it was something like 2,300 to Brendan's canteen and 2,300 to.
Yeah, I remember. I was really
2,300 each to Steve and Brendan.
Yeah, I remember.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, people are amazing because they are great art, and I really thanks people for that. Thank you, everybody, because you are very amazing. You have a big art, and I have a slogan for you.
I want you for Belgium.
Yeah, I want you for Belgium.
Listen, dude. You Belgium has got a pretty good football team. I mean, they're definitely one of the top 4 teams in the world, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've got some great players. So I don't think you need any more people joining Belgium.
Oh yeah, we really love football, and really appreciate to see the team, because we have a beautiful team. We have one of the most beautiful team of all the time in Belgium for now, and it's amazing when you see a guy like that play like that. It's a real show, even if you're not a real supporter of football, of soccer. I don't know if we say soccer or foot. Yeah, soccer.
I am pretty sure that association football, as it was started off, actually in the UK, in England, because I think that's where it started off, was long before America started its American football. So I think in terms of
it's football,
historically speaking, we can call it football, and I always refer to football is the global game. You also have American football and you have Aussie rules football, and I must admit I've enjoyed watching Aussie rules football, and I do enjoy watching American football. But yes, you've also got your manager is the Spanish fella that was the manager of Everton for a while.
Yeah, Roberto Madrid. Roberto.
Yeah, Roberto.
It's
I know. It's is it something beginning with M?
Oh,
it does.
I remember of that. I will look for that. So
yes, yeah. Honestly, Belgium manager. Roberto Martinez. Roberto
Martinez. Yeah.
Well, of course, he was very popular. First of all, at Swansea, wasn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Started off at Swansea, then went to Everton. But he's and he used to appear a lot on UK TV. Anyway, we're digressing. So, first of all, so you've got a couple of slots this year in Mamathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a few people.
Oh yeah,
coming along to have a wee chat with you. Who have you got lined up?
I have one strange man, a knight who say knee. I don't know if you know what I.
I think I know who you mean. Yep.
For sure, Mr. Capaldi, for sure. Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Harry Cozy, it's a
Is
great.
is he is he going to be joining in as well? Is he?
I hope he's
Yeah.
enjoy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope. I have Miss Sharon Sunshine.
Yes.
I have Miss Linda.
Oh
Linda
yes. Linda. Yep.
K listening. I have
Excellent.
Sandy Greenman, the
Yes.
lovely Sandy Greenman. Bev Begokta and Sandra Begokta, and a few other surprises with special guesses and special. I can't tell anymore.
I did after I did my little clip of
Oh, you
marathon. I did it. I did it. I put a couple of. Well, okay. Let's start from the beginning. About 6 weeks ago, Fleetside first contacted me and said that he would like to present his thoughts on this analysis of truth analysis.
Yeah.
And what he did was he sent me a load of slides that he'd made up in the form of like a PowerPoint presentation. I actually use the Apple equivalent, which is, what's it called? It's called Keynote. So I used an app called Keynote. I did it all on the phone. I do it all on the phone. It's very easy to do.
You tell me that before, yeah.
Yeah, and so because Fleetside had put together the slides using PowerPoint or whatever, and I thought, well, that's really good. And then I realized that, of course, what you can do is you can actually put together a series of slides. You can time them so that they then sort of, you get like the droplet effect, or they dissolve, into the next one, and you can put music to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I started to get really into that,
Yeah.
One of the little videos I did was basically this sort of idea of, do you ever get people come on to you saying, oh, you've done is you've watched a documentary and you're one of these followers of this cult, it's meant to, they accuse us of being in a cult as if it's somehow derogatory. So I thought, well, I know somebody who knows plenty about cults, and that's my sister, because she's a psychologist.
Oh.
So that's why I got her to come on. But before that, I did a little video, 2-minute video, and I got a comment from Dave Begotka. And basically, if you remember, the video was asking the question, are we guilters? Are truthers? What are truthers? What are truthers looking for? What are guilters? Are we part of a cult? That, etc., etc., etc. And he replied with simply the fact, I'm a knower. I know they were framed.
Yeah.
which was absolutely hilarious. When he said that, I thought, yeah, that's perfect. Now then, do you know any people from Glasgow?
From Glasgow?
Do you want to know any people from Glasgow?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Yeah, for sure.
No, listen.
For sure.
Oh, here she comes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do you want to know any people from Glasgow? Hello, boys. How is it going on?
Are you just outside, heading towards Port Glasgow, Greenock? Is that where you are? No, you're in Glasgow.
Glasgow. Yeah.
You're in Glasgow, right?
Yeah. Not the fake part.
No. I've been all the way out to. Is it Port Glasgow where there's a steamer called the Waverley Line that goes all the way out to Rothesay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never visited Glasgow or Scotland, like I said to Sharon the other day. But when all this stuff was over, I buy a flight trip, and I come in Scotland to visit you both and visit you all.
Yeah.
Because I want to visit Scotland because it's one. Like I said yesterday or the day before to Sharon, I've see so many times Scotland in the TV. For me, it's one of the most beautiful country in the world. But we have the same problem in Belgium. We have a weather of shit. So it's so. Well, but the country it's very beautiful and people are so lovely. When you see Mr. Capaldi and you see Mrs. Sharon, how can you
Oui,
doubt that? Yeah, you. And
So,
I can,
sorry,
if
sorry,
I can
John.
just say-
Go ahead.
if I can say just one thing to say thank you to Mr. Buting because I have write to him for ask him some details and he have take the time to respond me and thank you
Oh.
very much, Mr. Buting.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
good.
It's a really great honor for me. Thank you very much.
Sharon, do you know anybody from down in Englandshire? Goes by the name of Jane.
Yes.
You
I
can
love
vouch for you can vouch for Jane, can you?
Oh, as
well,
much as
oh,
as much
yeah.
as she can vouch for me.
In that case, we better let her in. We better let her in.
I do.
we made it. We made it.
We did. I'm in my
Well,
pajamas,
that's
Sharon.
Eh?
I said I'm in my pajamas, Sharon.
Yeah, you look
You
look
doing? I
fine.
thought you looked good.
You really look fine.
Thank you.
You always look fine. You ladies, you always look fine.
Oh,
The wee charmer, isn't he? The wee charmer.
he is.
Oh
The
yeah.
two are charmers. They're both charmers.
Paul, we are good charmers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
My one sort of problem with Glasgow was simply the fact that some by the way, Jane, somebody's stealing your pillows. I think you should be aware of that.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's maybe
kids
for that
always go-
fashion craze.
We always go rogue when I'm on live. Amazing.
you live in
Every
Glasgow.
time.
You live in Glasgow, Jane? Yeah.
No, I live in Cheshire, in the
Cheshire.
UK.
Ah, in the UK. Okay.
And of course, you've just mentioned Jerome Buting. Jane, you've met Jerome at least a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah, twice I have. Yes,
Yeah.
he's a gentleman.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a charming
He
man.
does, and he is. Whenever you either DM him or email him or ask him questions, he's always happy to oblige. Yes, he signed my book. Yes,
Oh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great book. Mm.
Yeah. It's it is interesting how of all the shows that I've been to. I mean, I've been to so many now. It's like, you know, I think I've done
Paul's a pro.
at least one a year. Yeah, a pro. Yeah, but the thing is that he his latest show that we went and saw back in January, February time was without doubt the best I've seen.
Yes.
It's really good. But no, what I was going to say to you, Sharon, is one of my big bugbears about Glasgow is that Glasgow was responsible for introducing me to Making a Murderer.
Well, what can I say? What can I say? There's been many people introduced to a murder that have come to Glasgow.
Well, yeah, what it was, of course, was my
Making a Murderers.
yeah. Well, my daughter was studying journalism, and she had, for whatever reason, had decided that, you know, although she was a student, one of the things that she wanted to do was to pay for the Netflix subscription. She particularly liked stuff like Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman.
Why are you asking me?
I don't know that one.
No, I don't.
Yeah. And another one that both my daughters love to watch is RuPaul.
I know who that is. Yeah.
The drag people, you know, the ones that dress up, you know.
I'm too old
RuPaul's
for this
fashion
kind of
fix
stuff.
and all that. Eh? Too
I'm
old?
too old to this kind of stuff.
But the thing is that it's for me. What's interesting is you've got these youngsters, like my daughter that was doing journalism. I've spoken to some of my students, music students, that are either this year, next year, or the next again year, will be going off to university, and some of them are interested in doing law.
Right.
What effect, and the sort of open question to the three of you, what effect do you think this mountain that's constantly growing of Netflix documentaries is going to have on the younger generation coming forward?
Silence from everyone.
Well,
Go on.
I think it's going to have a profound effect.
I do
because
too.
There's so many more documentaries coming out all the time. And I think it was probably Sharon I was saying it to the other day. But I mean, if it wasn't for half of these documentaries, I wouldn't have known about Making a Murderer, and I wouldn't know about half of them. So
you okay? You're still there. You're still there.
You're still here.
I can't see any of you. I can only see
I
me.
know. When we used to do last year. No, don't panic. Last year,
Hangouts.
when it was
Hangouts.
Hangouts, whoever spoke, the screen focused just on them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah.
If you remember, that's exactly what used to happen. We never used to have this. You'd have one person as the main person, and then you'd have lots of little people along the bottom.
The little people.
Little people, yeah. Little people, even as little as
Leprechauns.
exactly. Little gnomes along the bottom.
Yeah, as soon as I started talking, then I could just see me. I thought, what have I done now?
Well, we've been having technical difficulties earlier on, so you were
my internet went off before. I've had problems all day. But yeah, back to your question, Paul. Definitely, because for me, I wouldn't know anything about the American criminal justice system. I wouldn't know anything about junk science or the false testimonies. I've learned so much just from watching Netflix, and it's worth the $8.99 you pay every month, because you get so much information. And I think they're doing a fantastic job of getting these documentaries out, so people can see what is going on. Because I've just started watching the new one, The Innocence Files. I've only got to sort of episode 4 at the moment because I've been busy with other things, but I'd like to try and finish that this week.
Yeah, I saw 2 episodes for myself. I saw 2 episodes, and it's tragic.
It's awful. I mean, even the first few I've seen, it's just devastating to think.
Yeah.
And when you think about how long all these people spend in jail, it's just awful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Can I just quickly highlight this one here? And it was funny because I was talking to Jerome just a wee minute ago, just before we started off. I'd done a few videos, and one of them was this thing that I put together to music of are we members of a cult? And basically when I got to explain it a bit further with my sister, and she was able to then go through the sort of concepts there. I think we sort of agreed that it was more the guilters that were part of a cult, particularly in the fact that they're very secretive.
Yeah.
And she pointed out, if you're in a cult, it's very, very, very difficult to leave. And I think that's what we're finding, aren't we? With this Innocence Files, the number of people who, having been proved how completely wrong they were, and you still get, Linda Fairstein, from Murder in the Park, won't have it that the 5 boys weren't guilty.
Yeah.
And still hanging on to this balloon. it's ever rising balloon, and they just
Yeah.
won't have it.
No,
Yep.
absolutely.
Sharon, same question. What do you
Well,
think of the
I would-
Netflix effect?
Frantically trying to think of what I had watched before that had the same depth, you know, the way that we're just kind of getting into it. So I think that's got to have a fundamental change on the next generations coming and watching all these things, you know. Because I think there's obviously we've all been into the true crime things before. We've always been into, well, I say all, but you know, most of us have been into true crime and things. But this is different, you know. This is a different wave altogether than just true crime. You know, it's
Yeah.
a criminal justice thing that there's not many of us that would go, oh, I'm into criminal justice, and that's a conversation starter at a party. But a lot of people will say, I'm into true crime, and they go, oh, I remember that one, or I remember that one. You know, so that's a change. You know, that is a change. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there will be a lot of people that want to get into the wrongful conviction attorneys or lawyers or whatever. You know, people will be wanting to, you know, try and be the next, you know, Laura Nightrider and, you know, Steve
Kathleen.
Risen or Kathleen or because people do
Yeah.
emulate, and it's nice that they're emulating people that are, you know, of quality rather than you
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
maybe typical.
I must confess, I've said to all the peoples, I've said, what you want to do is you want to do Kathleen Zellner's jobs, far
Yeah.
better paid, far better paid. You get somebody, you get 33% of whatever, say 10 million.
Yeah.
You know, then you know that is very, very good money. You know, you know, I'm just recommending from the fact that I'm their teacher, and I know the parents would be delighted if they ended up with a really well paid job. And
Are you
doing
sure
that.
it's not that you're hoping that they're going to send their children to you and that they can afford to pay you more?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've got you, Paul.
You would be amazed how many, and this is quite embarrassing, really, how many pupils are actually sons and daughters of their parents were pupils of mine, you know, 20, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly not. You're only in your 40s.
I've actually got people in some families 3 generations that have had lessons. Yeah. I know it's
Really good.
I love that montage you did the other day, Paul, of all the different documentaries that have come out so far.
That's what I was sort of asking Jerome about which ones he's seen and which ones in particular that you liked, and which ones well maybe there are some on that list that weren't quite as sort of powerful as others, and I know some people they I can't imagine them ever wanting to watch Don't F with Cats.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I
watched
think
that
the
one.
only one in that montage I hadn't seen, or I'd started it, but I couldn't continue with it, was the trials of Gabriel Fernandez, the boy.
I didn't start that.
No, I sort of watched the first episode, but I didn't get any further with that. I'm partway through the Innocence Files, but I'd seen every other one.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying your wee videos that you've been doing, your wee montages and all your recent ones.
I've got a couple more in the pipeline, but they take ages to do. And you know what the biggest challenge is? Trying to get music that is timed just right, so that when the video, you want to try and finish the video and the music finish at the same time, because it's not like when if you put a load of photos together on say iPhone and it makes a little video for you in the that's fine, but you don't really have any control over that, and then the music just fades anyway. But trying to do it the proper way is far more fun.
Difficult.
Jerome, what was your thoughts on the Netflix effect?
Yeah, to answer to your question, Mr. Capaldi, I agree with Jane and Sharon for sure, and me also. I hope the the thing will be changed. The people watch this documentary and realize that can happen to any one of us. And if we are here today, it's also for that, because we are not. We are all in danger. Like I want to say. With a criminal justice like that, because I want to believe in a criminal justice. I want to believe in this criminal, but when you saw this kind of documentary, you can't trust them anymore. So there is a fracture, or you say in English, to break. To say something is broken.
Yeah.
Well, fracture was the right word. Fracture is fracture is the right word. You said,
it was the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the right word.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
some-
say you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm right, and I
You
don't
were
know.
right. I should give you a wee thumbs up. You were right.
Jerome, your wife might not think you're right very often, but the ladies here are quite happy with you, honestly.
And I've heard.
Honestly, you're totally right. So yeah, I really hope that change so many things, and I hope we all change, and because now we are realizing in looking this documentary, this is really crazy, and nobody wants stuff like that happen to you or a friend of you, and because this is not justice. This is maybe law for some country or for some, but it's not justice for Teresa. She never deserved justice. Stephen and Brendan the same, and there is a lot of other people in the same case. So that's why I hope this Netflix, and I want to say a big up, a really big up to Laura and Moira. Because the Guiltos can tell what they want, but they made a beautiful job with this documentary, making a murderer, and like that the world is watching now, and I'm really proud of that, and this was the idea of Ericosi and Paul at the beginning, to share a maximum, and to create by yourself your own channel, to share the information and to talk with other people like I do now. I'm here in Belgium, and I have created the channel because no one else had created a French channel. So French speaking channel. So I have created the channel for that. But Mr. Ericosi and Mr. Capaldi have given me this idea to do that. So
that dude has a lot to answer for. Don't you?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We were young.
Yeah. I've got a question for all of you. See who can get closest to the mark. At the beginning of the Innocence Files, it says it points out that
it yet. I've not seen it yet.
Well, no.
You can count me in if you want.
Oh, no, I'm counting you in as well.
Okay. I just had to disclose that first.
Even Ouija's are allowed to hazard a guess, and it might just be a guess, or you might know. Okay. At the beginning of the Innocence Files, they talked about the fact that they get thousands of letters a year since the Innocence Project.
Yeah.
Anybody know how many letters they have received since they started in 1980?
Oh, since they started.
From 1992
to
2015. Any idea what the figure is for the number of letters they've received from people saying that they are innocent and they want their case looked at?
Was it something like 100? 100,000.
52,000.
Yeah.
52,000. Now,
Yeah.
I think what you could often say is that yes, with all of these prisoners that go in and they say I'm innocent, and everybody
Yeah.
else says, well, everybody says
We're
they're
all
innocent. You know, that undoubtedly there will be people there who are guilty, and
Yeah.
they're where they are,
Just trying it on.
and they're just trying to deny the fact.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
my point would be this: if you've got 52,000 people wanting the Innocence Project to look into their case,
Yeah.
are they not all in the same boat as Stephen Avery saying to Kathleen Zellner, "Look at my case"? And Kathleen Zellner says to him, "Well, you know, you do realise if I look at your case, I'm going to find the truth about whether you're guilty or not."
Yeah.
You know, so these 52,000 people, there might be one or two of them that are a bit stupid in thinking that, you know, that they can get off on a technicality.
Yeah.
But to me, it suggests, and I'd like your opinion on this, that probably most of them are genuinely innocent, and they genuinely want the Innocence Project to look at their case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you, Paul, because
think so.
if they do that, they do that because they know they are innocent. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
as the dude was saying in a video, I think in his first look at the Innocence Files, he was saying about the fact that they've got the potential, I'm sure, to do multiple series of the
Yes.
Innocence File, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, you know, obviously Netflix, you know, I think sometimes it's worth pointing out, of course, that Netflix is just a streaming company, isn't it? They don't actually
Yeah.
make the documentary.
No.
But some people make the you know, filmmakers make the documentary. They then try and sell it to various you know, media company. In the case of Laura and Moira, well, how long did it take them to get Netflix to air Making a Murderer?
Was it-
They started filming 10 years ago, didn't they? They
Yeah.
I
started
was just going to
filming.
say about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah, I
takes-
think it's 10 years. Yeah.
Mm.
But from when they first took it to them, I can't remember. I think we did get told how long it was, but I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
things. I know that was how long it took them from when they started making it to obviously,
Yeah.
you know. But I think it was a good
Oh, how
couple of
long?
years because they told them to go back and
Netflix-
do more editing
More.
to it and come back. And I mean, it was a big process.
Yeah.
But I mean, these things usually do take a good bit of time.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if what I would say is definitely watch the Innocence Files. It's well worth watching. Jane, what of those? I think it was 22, 23 that I listed. What were your favourites apart from Making a Murderer?
Apart from Making a Murderer, The Staircase,
Yeah,
the Central Park 5.
yeah.
I love the Tiger King.
You like the Tiger King, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that very odd. I kind of think that all the people involved in that, they kind of deserve one another.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's like, you know, they're very, very, very strange.
I think I like that more just because it was just a bit different and a bit wacky. It didn't touch me like Making a Murderer did, and it didn't
No.
touch me, you know, like others. And I'm really enjoying the Innocence Files. Obviously, I've got to get to the end of it yet, but I would say, yeah. What was my other? There's another one that was in your montage.
Well, I can give you the list. Let's just run down the list.
Because my brain's I'm racking my brain going, what's that
Yeah,
other one?
yeah, that's probably the easiest way
There
of
is one
doing it.
more that I really. Go on, Paul.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on a sec.
The one
Here
that-
we
the
go.
one
Here we
that
go. Here we go. I'll run through them. You can tell me
Yeah.
which ones you've seen, which ones you haven't. Making a Murderer.
Yes.
Yes. The Staircase.
Yes.
Michael Peterson. The Confession Killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Henry
Lucas.
Lucas.
Henry Lee Lucas. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Then
the
you-
other one. I was thinking, I need to
Okay.
keep going. I can't
Then you-
remember it.
Yeah. We've got Time, the Khalif Browder story.
Oh yes. Oh, that was
That wasn't the other one.
Terrible.
that was
wasn't it?
so terrible. Yeah.
A guy
That was,
waited 3 years on Rikers Island
Rikers Island. That's
just for a court appearance.
yeah.
They delayed it. They delayed it. What was it, 30 times? And in the end, they brought in the judge to try and clear all the cases. And basically, she just sat there and she cleared 70 cases in a day by saying to everybody that came before her, "You need to take a plea deal. It'll get you out. You know, you've already done time served. Just take the plea deal. Get out the system."
Mm-hmm.
And Khalif had that kind of Stephen Avery mentality. I ain't admitting to anything that I haven't done.
I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, that was
Realising the repercussions of it. Next, how to fix a drug scandal.
yes.
I cheered when they said that there were these 30,000 people cases thrown out because of their wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as people have pointed out, you know, in the Innocence Files, what on earth is going on? You've got people whose cases are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why are they not looking at all the other cases these people have been involved in?
Right.
In any other line of work, in any other business, you know, as I think it was Peter Newfield said, you know, if you were involved in some sort of money scandal, they would look at every dealing you've ever had.
Yeah.
It's just
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And yesterday, the day before, I was looking for some stuff, and I was surprised for a fact. I don't know if you know,
Oh,
but
we lost you.
in
Our internet's been going funny, so she might
Sure.
be back. Our internet's been going funny all day.
Jane's there, and I can add her back into the stream just like
There
that.
we go.
Good.
Yeah,
I just tried
In
to
the
mute it a
walkie-talkie?
second and then I lost it again.
welcome back. I realized that the Innocence Project was not acting in Belgium, so there is nothing like the Innocence Project in this country. So I was thinking to maybe create stuff like that, but just by myself it will be very rough. So I just tell the ID, but I know in Belgium, I don't know in UK or in Scotland, but in Belgium it doesn't exist, the Innocence Project. But in UK, I think it exists. Yeah.
Well, you certainly have, don't you, Sharon? You have, in the case of Sandra Lane, she's approached.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the name of the. She's in talks with people just now. So there were certain things she couldn't say to me when we were talking and stuff like that. So so she's going to give us it's good that she's coming on in the Sunday.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, she's taking it as far as she can take it. But I don't know if it's the same as like a wrongful conviction type, you know, or an integrity type thing.
It's something like a review board or a review panel or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we've got how to fix a drug scandal. Then we've got the confession tapes.
Yes, seen that one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode called Gaslight? It stars it's a case in Nebraska where eventually it's actually a young couple from Wisconsin on a drug spree that actually kill these two people. Mm-hmm. But the crime scene, the top crime scene investigator, David Kofid, who was Mr. Nebraska 1 year as a 19-year-old, and then Mr. Policeman.
Yeah.
And that guy is corrupt as hell.
Oh yeah.
Corrupt as planting evidence in the car. I mean, what more of a similarity do you want to making a murderer than David Kofid planting? Or that was the thing. I couldn't quite figure out what had happened. Whether he'd simply said, "Oh yes, I swabbed here," and guess what? There's this person's DNA on it, and they've never been anywhere near the car.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
next
absolutely
we've
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The first time I saw this documentary, I have immediately thinking about Making a Murderer,
Mhm.
because it was so so visible that was corrupt and a lot of corruptions in this case. So it was so similar, so similarity. There is so similarity with this case, and I would like to ask you, Paul or Sharon or Jane. I don't know.
If it's an easy
which
question, I'll answer it. If it's difficult, I'll leave it for the ladies.
no, it's I don't know if one of you are best knowledge of the OG Simpson murder case, but there is two also two similarities between these two cases, between Stephen Avery and the Stephen Avery case and the OG case. When you
Yeah.
saw the Bronco, two Bronco, there is maybe a two RAV4.
Yeah.
OG had cut out to this fingers.
Cuts on his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen, this is the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember everything, but there is a lot of
Blood on the Bronco
similarity.
and the blood in the RAV.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff. So I don't know if one of you have this knowledge to share with us this all this similarity in these two cases, O.J. Simpson cases and Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey cases.
Well,
Yeah, those are the ones I could think of.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I think the somebody that's actually done some videos about the O.J. Simpson case is the dude himself. He's
Yeah,
he's-
for sure.
He's done a few about that. Now we've got somebody called William pointing out that there's an official project, and somebody else called William. They've posted it the second time, so there you go.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
an accident.
I bet he just wanted to see his name up twice.
I can vouch for my wee William. It's okay.
Yeah.
He brings me in cups
Thank
of
you,
tea
William.
when I'm here.
Yeah.
Actually, one
He's a
that I
good
have,
one.
one of the documentaries I have seen that I didn't list on that because it's not available here in the UK is Murder in the Park,
Yes.
yeah.
and I don't know if you had a chance to watch it when it was
No,
on
not-
when it was on Linda's channel.
No, not
Is that
even
the one-
about-
Yeah.
Tony Porter.
That's
Is it
the one I was thinking of.
The same director as Convicting a Murderer.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean
Yeah.
Reck.
That's
Sean
it, Sean Reck.
Sean
That's
Reck.
the one I was.
Yeah, Tony Porter was clearly guilty, but cheers. But you've
Yeah.
got these guys from an
No very-
innocent
No very
project
exciting water.
in Chicago who actually managed to get this guy off. But basically, it's the detective that they employ using the typical police tactics of basically coercing a confession that managed to persuade this old story Simon to take the blame for it. And what was incredible about Murder in the Park was that they simply got this taped confession, and then without even corroborating where it came from or under what circumstances, within a couple of days, this Tony Porter was released.
Yeah.
Anyway, carrying on with our list. We got as far as the confession tapes. Number 7 on the list, The Innocent Man.
Yes.
Seen
Seen
that?
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seen that one.
It was the only novel done by that isn't a novel. Oh, what's that famous writer?
Oh, jeez. I wish I had my good brain on
Is
there.
it Grisham? Somebody Grisham?
Yes,
Yes.
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 John
um,
Grisham.
John Grisham.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
John-
Really saying
that's-
Gil Grissom, that's about a CSI.
don't
Then
remember.
we've got Dream Killer.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan
Right,
Ferguson.
Ferguson, yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit, I particularly enjoyed that because of the fact that we got to see Kathleen
Kathleen,
Jones.
Yeah, I like
In
that
action.
too.
And
Yeah.
I hope that everybody in Wisconsin got to see Kathleen Zellner
Yeah.
in action and got to realise that lady is not for turning.
No, she's not going away.
She's not going away, is she? You know.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Who else
Not at all.
famously said this lady's not for turning, Sharon? what was her name again?
Yes, yes, very funny. I shall not even mention her name.
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. The Keepers. The Keepers. Anybody watch The Keepers?
Yes,
Yeah.
watched that one.
What
That
about
was
the
the
nuns?
Nun.
The
Yeah.
Nun, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
It was
most
good, that
bizarre.
one. I liked that
Yeah.
one actually. It was quite good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it touched on a subject that unfortunately it is true that there were some priests who were particularly
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I suppose the moral of the story there is, you give people power of authority, and there's always going to be those that are going to use it for good, and there's always going to be those that abuse it, I suppose.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens anywhere. It can happen anywhere. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Let's see who can go. Is that on
No.
Netflix?
I've seen. I don't think it was. I've seen so many documentaries, both on the on the Sky channels.
And then Amazon as well. There's ones on Amazon and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
You get mixed up, And
But
Is that-
do they not all follow the
Oh,
basic
no.
premise of the fact that you've got somebody convicted of something, and the question is, should they have been? Were they? Were they guilty? Were they found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? Yeah, it's somebody's put it was on HBO last summer.
I don't think that one.
I'm going to say I don't think here in the UK that we can get HBO channel. Am I right thinking that?
no,
No, we
No.
don't
get that.
Belgium?
No.
Nope.
You get it in Belgium? No.
Nope. Nope.
No. It's
Sadly, nope.
yeah. It is unfortunate that we don't
No,
only get
not that one.
sometimes even what's on Netflix in America isn't available here.
Yeah.
It's what's trending in the UK that they tend to go with, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I actually
Right.
watched The Staircase. Sorry, I watched The Staircase on when it was on YouTube before it was on
Right.
Netflix,
Yeah.
years
right,
ago.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on there years ago, and it was only the first. I think it was maybe 8 episodes or something like that, 8 or 9 that was on at first. And I'm trying to remember whether that was before Making a Murderer, before I watched Making a Murderer.
Yeah,
that I watched
think
that.
I think
It was
yeah.
because it was ages ago. It was ages ago. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. J-Jax, 61.
Fall from grace.
Fall from grace. If you want to see bizarre, I was going to say they are all so bizarre, aren't they? But they all have this. This.
Where can we find that one, J-Jax?
I have no idea. It's. I think it's just a case of keep looking for them, isn't it?
Because they sometimes come on different channels,
Yeah.
as in I think sometimes some things are on Sky channels, and I don't have Sky. I just get the Netflix and the Amazon and stuff like that. Some things.
Yeah, I mean we've got a true crime channel on Sky, haven't we? There is a Sky true crime. Yeah. What about in Belgium, Jerome?
Nothing.
Well, you got Netflix.
Yeah, we've got
No crime in Belgium.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You don't have no conviction. There's no crime and
no crime in Belgium. We are
too busy drinking beer
too
and
busy
being
to
happy.
drinking beer and be happy and kissing everybody. So
Oh.
we have no time for hate. So
Go to Bruges and you'll be in purgatory.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you know?
I know
Yeah,
why you say that.
Yeah, has anybody seen the film? It's a really good film, In Bruges,
In Bruges, yeah.
I've
With,
not
uh,
seen that.
starring
Well,
Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes is Voldemort.
Yeah.
Fleur
Yeah.
Delacour, and it features Professor Moody and Colin Farrell.
I was
How
just going
old
to
is
say
it?
Colin Farrell. It's quite
Or
old.
it was a film for production, absolutely brilliant film
Right.
where they go to Bruges, and in one scene
Might have seen it then.
they're going around this art gallery, and they get to this old painting by Hieronymus Bosch, and it's this
Jerome Bosch.
well, yeah, exactly, yes, and it's this picture of purgatory, and they're presenting it as if it's in Bruges. Hieronymus Bosch was a Dutch painter, and blaming Belgium for it. How dare they?
That's like the same people that blame the Glaswegians for things.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're saying. One more, because and then do you know what? That's only up to number 10 on the list. Can you and also remember that when it came to the confession tapes, there's a series 1 and a series 2.
Series 2, yeah.
And in series 1, I know that Steve Drizzen is featured
Yeah.
in at least one of those series 1 confession tapes series. So number 10 on my list, and I didn't put them in any particular order, but Exhibit A.
Yes.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I particularly liked Exhibit A, and it reminds me of a lot of what we're seeing in this Innocence Files.
Innocence Files, yeah.
Yep.
You know how you get these experts, and what's really bizarre is you've got these experts that come in, and the prosecution will present an expert, and then the defense will try and present an expert to present the exact opposite of what somebody else has just presented.
There's nonsense. Yeah.
It's just totally bizarre. All you need is one expert to come in and say this is what happened because it's been scientifically tested and proven.
Yeah.
I just can't get my head around this idea that you've got these, okay, if there's something that's completely that's really bizarre, possibly, but I mean, this idea that these bite marks were produced by somebody biting, when as even that bite analysis guy, what was his name?
West.
But the other guy that came in that did the Bundy case.
Stephen. I know who you mean. Yeah.
I've got all my notes upstairs. It was like a French name.
Yes.
But I mean, even he pointed out. He comes along and he comes in and says,
De la Bruyère. Don la Bruyère.
No, it's beginning with S.
No.
Sauvignon or Sauvignon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw 2 episodes, so I don't remember.
Right.
Sorry.
I should know that.
Somebody in the chat will know exactly who we're on about. Where's William when you need him?
Where's the dude?
Well, yeah. Where is the dude?
I know.
What is he doing? Do
you mean the expert that took the dental impressions? Just to give William a bit more information.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he was the guy that came in to counteract.
Right, to counteract it.
In
Right.
the Innocence File.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
Yes.
Before I'm really sorry because I have completely forget one of my guests, Mr. Stacy Seabrook. Sorry, Stacy, but
how could you forget Stacy?
I have
Easy.
I have a good explanation. Yeah, because I am working now with with Stacy on a project,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say much more, but we are in touch. So that's why I thinking about him all the time, and I was saying the guest, and I was absolutely forget Stacy because I'm thinking about him all the time. So that's why.
Richard
But
Suverin.
Richard
Sorry, Gro.
Suveron, yeah.
yeah, Silver. Yeah,
Suveron, yeah.
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 Sauvignon.
Thank you, Jane.
You were nearly right.
Sauvignon. What am I thinking about then with Sauvignon?
Flop.
Oh yeah,
Sauvignon
wine.
flop.
Yeah.
Wine.
Sauvignon flop. I know.
Listen, why don't we have a chat at a future time, and we go through the next 12.
Yeah.
The next 12 on my list, and then there's another 3 after that. That, as I say, I've seen elsewhere, but not on Netflix. And
Yeah.
also, I think it's worth pointing out that we are really looking forward, aren't we, to the $50 million bullet.
Oh, yeah.
There is no
Absolutely.
doubt that Netflix are going to want
Yeah.
to show
They
that.
better. They
Let's
better.
hope so.
Just an hour. Well, 50 miles. 50 miles. Why did it take the dude an hour to drive there? I don't know. He was just going slow or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's within an hour of
Yeah.
management. You know, it's at Nina. I mean, it's just Nina is just above Appleton, isn't it? No, Appleton, Nina. I think your guest Sandy Greenman. I think she's in Nina as well, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry,
Paul. I would like just to say about the $15 million bullet. We were a great video together with Dan Davis. It was an amazing video on my channel, and thank you again, all of you, and thank you again, Dan. It was really funny. It was really excellent. And if you want see the video, go on my channel and watch. And Paul or Jen or Sharon, if you want download the video and share on your channel too, the $50 million bullet videos, you can, because
Oh, thank you.
Dan and you, all of you, were very excellent, like always.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
mean,
loved that video.
good.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to having another chat, hopefully with Rob Bellin,
yeah,
because he overlaps both Making a Murderer and the $50 million bullet, because he knows plenty about both cases. So
it's really interesting.
it's going to be interesting.
I need to ask something. This is a question for Paul and Jerome here, right?
Yeah.
See, Nina, do you pronounce it ni?
No.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Wipaldi.
Yeah.
I had
Okay.
to ask.
No, good question. Very good question. I'll get you back.
You will. You will. I'll count on it.
Absolutely. Oh, look, we've got another person join the screen. Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, you're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play with the mic.
I like your new background, Paul. I like your
It's
new
not
background.
bad.
Great, isn't it?
It's good.
Do you want to see another one just before you go? I'll show you another one. In fact, you can tell me where I am.
I know where you're going to be.
Then well, you might not. Here we go.
Okay.
Here's one.
Right.
Where in the world am I?
Yep.
Can you tell where I am? Go on, there we go. I'll do that.
Okay. Where do you think you are?
You don't get too long, by the way.
All right. Okay. Well, no, I don't. I couldn't
film?
possibly guess.
Oh, then where am I?
It looks a bit. Well, it's obviously gothic-y kind of.
Yes, it
I'm
is,
looking at the architecture of it.
Is it of a film?
Sorry?
It's
Is
It's
it of a
amazing.
film?
Is it? Oh, wait a minute. Is it in Harry Potter or something?
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. That's
Is
what
that
it
right?
was. I thought it was Harry Potter.
And do you know, Paul? I have never seen Harry Potter films. That was a
Really?
guess from
Brilliant.
looking at that. That was a guess.
Jerome,
Stirling Castle Greethole. Yeah.
remind me never to invite Sharon again if she's never watched.
Oh no, I tell a lie. I have saw one, but it was with my nephew, so it
Oh.
wasn't like me going to watch it. And it was like the very first one. So you can invite me sometime then.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Oh, wait a
Sydney.
minute.
Harbour Bridge.
Is that not the one where you need to have your zip down standing in front of that one though?
I don't know.
Do you not remember? Do you not remember a certain person? Yes.
Was that the dude?
Yes.
Was
Is that
the
not
dude?
where he was standing?
Yeah.
Oh yes, just in case anyone thought I was suggesting anything else.
Yeah. So here's another one. This is when I go in for my extreme social distancing.
Excellent.
Hi!
Oh,
And one more. Where on hell could I possibly be?
Okay, the
Where-
hell gives me a clue.
Where the hell could I possibly be? Let me find where the hell could this be? Oh yes, here we go.
on the train. Before
That's
we
the
leave the
dudes.
station, Wisconsin, Sweet and
You should-
Harry.
you should be lying down in the couch.
Down on train.
And there we go. There's the right banner.
Yeah.
Please make donations to the dude.
Amazing.
I'm amazed I got that Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I know.
don't know.
I thought it was that, but
I don't know. I was looking at it and going,
Really amazing.
what could it be? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? So I'll just guess.
And here, one more for you. I do like this one.
Oh.
Oh,
That's the tigers we're saying oh to. No,
Yeah.
aren't they cute?
they are.
You are too cute with the tiger. Oh, Paul.
He looks well, doesn't he? Next to them.
Oh.
You know they say people look like their pets. You kind of look like the. What?
Do you understand why we love this guy? This guy there. Do you understand why we love this guy? Because this guy rocks. This guy is
He does.
amazing. This guy has ever hurt
Yep.
like that. Like that guy.
Do you
Like
say
that.
heart or head?
Art.
Heart, right? Okay.
Art.
Just so we're clear, because
Art.
don't want people
Yes.
thinking you're saying
No,
he's got a
no,
head
no,
like
no,
this.
no, no.
Oh,
That's the other Yun.
Art. Art. A really
And
big
this-
art.
and this is where Eunice is planning on sending me next.
The next step.
I think you only can go there if
Outside.
you're bald, so you can bald
Yeah.
go, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Paul, upside it's the sun, okay?
Yes, yeah. Okay, well, first of all, Jerome, and yes, Sharon and Jane, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
It's been good fun. It's been good fun.
It has.
And well, the thing is that we've got another, as I say, 25 documentaries to go through and have
Yeah.
a chat about at least,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
will be good fun. And yes, some Sian, his question: did you get a green screen?
Or blue screen.
No, absolutely not. Why why would I get a green screen? I mean, I can't imagine anybody being so lucky
Shower curtain.
to get a green screen.
Is it a shower curtain?
Do you know what? I actually contemplated trying to get hold of green paint to paint one of my walls.
Oh yeah.
And then I found out that through my wife that one of my pupils had actually got a green screen that she used for doing dance move videos. So she said, "Well, I don't use it anymore." So that was great. So yeah, it took me ages to set up because I've got this. It's like disco lighting that I used a few years back. This huge rig. It's like two posts that go up either side that go up to 2.5 meters. I mean, the screen is not far off the ceiling.
Yeah.
I think I saw your video. Did you do a video about your lights?
Oh yeah, but that was just a bar that I put together.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a goal. It's like the size of a goal in football. It is that big, you know. Like we could put it. We could set up the band on stage, and this rig goes from one side to the other, and then we had I've even got like a mirror ball with spotlights that go on it.
Party at Paul's house. Who's all coming?
Oh, you have no idea the amount of stuff I've accumulated over the years. Just for that purpose, of doing disco lighting. Anyway, so yes, thanks very much, and we'll see you again sometime soon. And looking forward to Mammothon. So if you'd all like to say cheerio.
Yeah. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Bye bye everybody, and
Don't forget.
If you haven't already, please hit subscribe.
and I'll see you. Yeah.
Now the button won't. Push the button, Paul. Push the button.